A very good morning to all of you. My name is Manjiri, and I know the speaker has introduced me as a soft skills trainer. But that's been a little glitch. I'm not a soft skills trainer. I am actually a magician. Don't believe me? Let me prove it to you. Think of 3 things that you wish for. Close your eyes and think of 3 things that you wish for. Once you're done, I'm going to tell you exactly what is it that you're wishing for. Not just for one of you, but for all of you over here. Ready? I'm telling you, you're wishing for just one or all of these 3 things. You're either wishing for health, wealth, or happiness. Don't need a magician to tell you that, because all of us just wish for these 3 things. By the end of this talk, I'm also going to tell you how to make these 3 wishes come true. Have you heard of this really famous movie, 3 Idiots? And there's a beautiful dialogue in it delivered by the actor where he says to his mentor, I'm not telling you how to teach, I'm not telling you how to learn engineering, I'm telling you how to teach better. This dialogue was actually uttered by me umpteen number of years ago. Astonishing, right? While the actor went on to win accolades and awards for delivering this dialogue, when I said it to my teacher, I was sent to the principal's office, and it wasn't a solitary incident. Every single time that I raised my eyebrows or questioned whether it be in at the educational institute or somewhere in the society, I was reprimanded. As all mothers would have it, mine too was extremely weary of having an overzealous child on her hand. To make matters worse, unfortunately, she was finally called to the principal's office only to be told that your child is being difficult. How am I being difficult? I asked her very innocently. And she replied matter-of-factly, people don't like being questioned. What is it about this why that puts people on a guard? Why is it that people don't like being questioned, especially the policymakers? Think about it. Primary caregivers, teachers, mentors, mother-in-laws. We'll come back to it. Why is it that they don't like being questioned? But looking at my mother's sad state, I decided things had to be remedied. So I started looking around and saw the good crowd, the it crowd. You know, the ones who get a pat on their back constantly. Once I saw them, I realized they were nothing great. They were not exactly talented. There was nothing superfluous about them. But they had one thing going. They did not ask a why, and they quietly fell in line. But they were more like me, suffering in my plight, stuffed into the bucket of useless. Except they were nothing like me. While I was being labeled as too opinionated, they were being labeled as meek, weak, hurdlings. It is at that minute that I realized the eternal truth, that people are going to talk no matter what you do and no matter who you are, right? So I decided I should do something about it. And I did what everyone else does. I decided to ignore it. But you know what? When a barrage of constant negative words is hurled at you, try as you may, it slowly but steadily percolates through your system. Become the person that the society proclaimed in the first place. Circle complete. What a scary, scary thought. As I shuddered at the thought of somebody else deciding who I am going to become, I realized if I wanted them to change their tune, I need to be taking charge of the narrative. As proclamations of you're too much, you're too strong, you're too opinionated, you're never going to fit in, echoed in my head, in reverb I might add, I realized that I need something to change this whole thing. What we need is a superpower to pierce through the force field of society's proclamations of our worth. So what this superpower can be, what is it that we need? And why is it that we let others decide our fate? How is it that my destiny or my self-worth is being decided by other people? Why? It's because I have no agency. I have no agency on surface. I have no agency is just a symptom of a greater sickness that is there. You see, I have no agency because I have no self-actualization. I have no self-actualization because I have no self-acceptance. And where will self-acceptance come from if there is an utter and complete lack of self-awareness? So the superpower that we are looking for is nothing but self-awareness. So what is this self-awareness that everyone keeps harping about? Where do I get more of it? And more importantly, how do I use it to better myself? To put it very simply, in layman's terms, self-awareness is me being attuned to the core of who I am, what my values are, what I stand for, what I like, what I don't like, what my strengths and my handicaps are, and more importantly, how I as a personality fit into the fabric of this society. Remember the ones who quickly went on a guard when upon being asked why? They are not egotistical. They're just simply unaware. But once I have self-awareness, I'm in a position to answer why to every what that comes my way. I'm in a position to commit to deliverables, and then what happens is because I know what my boundaries are and now I can set expectations, I reduce disappointment and increase credibility. There you have it. Self-awareness has turned you into a better human being. Let me draw your attention to one of my favorite topics, self-confidence. Confidence, or rather the lack thereof, stems from the fear of unknown, and self-awareness is going to be that catalyst that can transform your fear into excitement. How, you might ask? Because now that I'm acutely aware of what I can and I can't do, calculated risks are now a possibility, making failure a very viable option. It is only upwards and onwards from now on. You see, because I'm no longer afraid of failing, I can turn my thoughts into actions. See what self-confidence has done? It has turned you into a doer. And what is the reward that a doer gets? A doer's reward is agency. Isn't that what we were looking for? So tell me now that I have agency, which is what I needed to change the narrative of the world, right? Now that I have agency, can I change the way the world speaks about me? Sorry to say, no, I still can't. Why now? Why can't I change it now? Because for a simple fact, for a simple truth, that the way the world sees you, the way the world is going to speak about you will not change until your self-talk changes, until your own narrative changes. So how do I change this self-talk? Just as we focus on our strengths, we need to be evaluating what our weaknesses are too. It is this evaluation of my weakness that is going to shift my perspective from why can't I do this to what can I do better with what I have. Then what happens? Only two possibilities from here. Either I do, I succeed, improved self-confidence. If not, I do, I fail. But that's okay, because failure now is a learning opportunity. I come resilient for the renewed knowledge and I'm still confident. There you have it. It's a win-win situation. This technique, so what we need to remember is that perception is reality, right? So the way that we want the world to perceive us, we need to present ourselves accordingly. So speak, dress, and act the way that you want the world to perceive you. This technique of taking stock of your wins when you're high is going to serve you so much better than any pep talk when you're down. You know how? Because it is going to serve as a documented proof of what your capabilities are and how you achieve them. It is a fact file. It remains as a study material for you to take stock of what your emotional and intellectual resources are, because that is what is going to get you through a tough situation. So, there you have it. Your very own indestructible super weapon, powered solely by a never-ending supply of your very own self-acceptance and self-love. Your very own super weapon of self-confidence, your very own sword of self-confidence. It is with this sword that you're going to fight the demons of people-pleasing, guilt, low confidence, the inability to say no. But all swords need a sheath, for otherwise they lose their edge, they corrode, or worse, they hurt inadvertently. And this sheath is nothing else but soft skills. The ability to communicate with impact, the ability to use the power of your presence for the greater good of community. Isn't that what superheroes do? I haven't forgotten about your 3 wishes and how we are going to make them come true. Never stop asking questions. Never stop pushing the envelope. For it is in the answers to these difficult questions that lies the key to your health, wealth, and happiness. Remember, soft skills is the power. It is with good dressing, improved communication, and strength of character that you're going to be able to turn your passion, your purpose, and your profession into an unstoppable vehicle, your very own Batmobile, if you may, to unleash the hero that you already are. So, here's to the naysayers of the norm. Here's to the ones who dare to ask why. Here's to the ones who stand beyond the designated line, the non-conformists, the questionnaires. You are supposed to be difficult because you are the superheroes of your own narrative. My name is Manjiri. I'm a soft skills trainer. Thank you. You have been a great audience.